Reza Danica RN said he didn't find it easy in race number 1. He certainly made it look easy. Barry Russell, right from the very start, he pulled away. Bike number 127, led into the first corner, and then just went away from everybody else. It was a terrific performance.
Yeah, it's always the classiest competitors who make it look easy, but they're really working hard, and I think he summed it up well there. Well-deserved victory, while there was so much arging and barging behind him. There was Herjan and Jack Rapat, there was Herjan and Mukladar.
And there may still be consequences from the little bit of argy-bargy that we saw. Mukladar would not be bullied, and neither would the man who came in P2, Veda Ega Pratama. But with Reza Danica and Veda Ega getting so far away, as we're seeing here, our focus was very much on the battle for P3, which in the end was won by Herjan Adna Ferdhouse. Despite all the argy-bargy that went on, he proved that when it came really down to it, he's as determined as anybody else. We keep talking about Mukladar and Warrit, etc., being determined. But you're seeing here, he's saying, get out my way, woman.
Yeah, oh, he is. Herjan is a really strong competitor, and it's actually really good to see this in this series. There's people who are prepared to fight for the win, and it's great to see Irfan Ardiancia coming in. New bike, new team, new category.
All change there again. This is the incident, I think, that is going to catch the eye of the stewards, but it made for great racing, and look at that behind them. Bike number 94, Warrit Tongnapakan, he was able to capitalise on that as well. He's got himself a top 6 finish as Warrit. He'll be thrilled to bits with that as well. Points on the board. Yeah,
he should be. And best privateer.
Indeed, any privateer race team that does well in this kind of company deserves all the support and praise that they can get. As once again, we're on to the last lap here. You're seeing the front two are so far away. Effectively, well, 5.5 seconds clear, but these guys are racing, so the front two are getting further and further away, and the differential between at the start and between the first group and the last group is the best part of 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's it, but Herjan kept it.
Race winner, Reza Danica, won race 1 of the season last year here at Buriram, but would not win again until the last race of the season.
And now watch round 2 of that scrap between Mukladar and Herjan.
And it does get physical, doesn't it? And Herjan, to be fair, is just holding onto his line there. He's got every right to hold that racing line. He's got himself P3. Asia Road Racing Championship, Super Sport 600, first race of the season. Caroline Powie on pole position, but under immediate pressure from Thailand's Chip Nakarin, the Honda Racing Thailand racer, getting into the first corner first. Barry Russell alongside me, Des Corkill in the commentary box, and Chip Nakarin, although he's second in this shot here, from the very first moment, he was out there to really prove something to the Thai audience.
Yeah, he was, and he kept it there all the way through. He nearly won. It was an error, as he said, on the final corner that took the win away from him after coming through very late. But wonderful performance from Idem Powie. He didn't make any mistakes. He did have problems with the bike, but managed them.
This is the corner number 12, and Caroline Powie at one stage looked like he was going to get away behind him. That's a great shot of Kito Abe getting through into P5 ahead of Ratapong Willarot. A great start by Minamoto as well. The ASEAN driver, the Yamaha ASEAN driver for Gem Blue, had come through from P9 to get himself up into P3 at one stage, would in the end up in P6. And Helmi Asman, last season, he was second in the championship standings by the closest margins. Couldn't get any better than P3 today.
Yeah, and Ratapong Willarot, he got himself at the front of that chasing group, but faded towards the end. Another frustrating race for him, it has to be said.
There is Ratapong Willarot, as you say, leading that group, and then that's the mistake where he lost 2 places in very quick succession. Inside a couple of corners, he went from P4 to P5, and then would lose out to Kito Abe here on to lose down into P6 as well. So Ratapong, a frustrating way to come back, as you can see him there losing to Kito Abe, that second place once again. He would have eventually finished 7th. Up at the front though, it was building up to a fabulous finale as Caroline Powie was being clawed in, hauled in by Chip Nakarin. In fact, Nakarin would go on and take the lead.
Yeah, it was a 3-way battle for a few laps. once he lost his lead, once his tyres went off, and he knew he had to fight, but he didn't make any mistakes.
You did say during commentary that Chip Nakarin was sliding just a little bit, and that would be crucial in the end. Maybe the grip was just lost, but it came down into the final corner. Chip Nakarin, bike number 41, thinks he's left the braking a little bit late, slides a little bit wide. Karel Idampawi is able to hold on, and Karel Idampawi goes on to record his first win since he came back to Supersport 600. Cue the celebrations at a maximum 25 points for Karel Idampawi. Highlights from the first race of the Superbike season and the Asia Road Racing Championships, and on pole Zakwan Zaidi got off to a steady start. Marcus Reiterberger going with him. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman also making a fine start on the BMW. But Zakwan Zaidi looked for a little while, Barry Russell, as though he was trying to blow away the rest of the field and almost win this one from the front very early on.
Yeah, it looked like a romp earlier. He at the end of lap 1, he had a gap of 0.8 of a second as they crossed the line. But the riders behind him hadn't finished yet. Haruki Noguchi made a bad start and was making his way up. And Marcus Reiterberger was always there as well, and it wasn't on the cards for Zakwan to get away. He's a very realistic rider. He was analytical. You know, he always gives the maximum, and the maximum he could do today was to lead as long as he could and settle for the best finish he could.
Plenty of stories behind him, though. It was great to see Andy Farid Izdihar, the Honda Asia Dream Racing with Showa teammate, actually make a real fist of this, his first race in the Superbikes, and he got himself up into a position where he was challenging the top 3. But the real story would, well, no, there's 2 stories. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman and Haruki Noguchi. Noguchi back after injury and sweeping his way into the front, and from there he would never be outside the top 3.
Yeah, that was a terrific battle he had with Zakwan before he finally managed to break away.
Behind them, you just see there Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, who started right at the very back of the grid because he couldn't put a qualifying time in. He was making his way through into the top 3. Ahead of them, a battle royale going on. Is this the position where Zakwan said, I began to struggle a little bit with my tyres because he made a different tyre selection?
Yeah, I think that hard front of Haruki was working well for him, maybe a little advantage.
Aslan got himself into the lead, and then a fabulous battle between the BMW and the SDG Honda.
So we saw Aslan in the lead for a while on this, I think this was the penultimate lap we're looking at here, but Aslan did get to the front, and it was a phenomenal moment. You could feel it.
Certainly was, but Haruki Noguchi, he doesn't have the same feeling. He doesn't want the phenomenal moment to belong to anybody else but to him. That was his phenomenal moment, switch backing into the lead, and so that when they came into the final couple of corners, Noguchi was the man in pole position. He was able to take this corner number 12, not under a vast amount of pressure, and goes away to take his victory. He takes the lead in the early stage of the championship, but Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, what a performance by him.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.